And 3, 2, and welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Oh, God. Okay, today we're going to be talking about hooking up with somebody at the workplace. Not good. Not good. And you're going to learn from me my bloody mistakes in my past. And hopefully I can offer you some advice because it ain't a good idea. Now, when I say that, I'm coming from, I hooked up with my roommate, flatmate, should I say. So, in fact, if anything, that's actually worse because you're living with the person. But, oh, Jesus. Before we get into this now today, I'm fucked. I've been on the piss now all weekend. Too much wine, whiskey. Oh, I hope I can get through this one. Whew, I got my bottle of water here now, guys. So if I do actually start supping away here on my water, you'll have to excuse me. All right, so look. There's this guy that he started off. He's now at this new workplace for the last 3 months, and he only contacted me this morning about this, and I thought this is a very good one to bring up today. And he's been flirting away with the girl at work, and she's flirting away back, and things are heating up. And of course, the problem is he says that they go on lunch break together, coffee breaks. They're in the same department. And now that the flirting's kind of stepping up a gear or two every now and then, he's now getting worried. He's getting really worried and concerned. And I don't blame him. Because I suppose he's looking at it from the other end. Well, hey, fuck. What happens if we don't get on? We're going to be stuck at work, clearly, right? You know, it's fairly obvious that you're going to be thinking that. I mean, and it's funny because I put this on my social media this morning, right? And there's some people that are going, well, you know, why not? Why not? And then there's some people going, oh, Jesus, I wouldn't do it. No, 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 no. So at the moment, it's about 80% of people, 80% of people that are saying, no, definitely not a good thing to do. Hell no. Is it a good idea? I mean, okay, I'll tell you my side of the story here, guys. I used to live in London and moved in with, a couple, this other single girl and myself. Now, I was going to have my own room, which I did, and that was cool. And it was a nice place, and, I have to admit, I did fancy the flatmate, the single girl. You know, she's really cute, sexy. But I was like, oh, well, no. And you see, here's the thing. I didn't think I'd go there. I was like, no, I'll be all right. I'll be fine. Be fine. No problem. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Or maybe in the back of my head I was full of shit and I actually wanted to go for it and I was just pretending to myself. I don't know. But anyway, either way, about 2 to 3 weeks into me living there, because I actually ended up moving in and that was fine, we didn't talk much, right? The flatmate and myself. And I think it was because we consciously knew that we fancied each other and we should be staying away from each other. You know, and that was the way for me. And I think if she was feeling that way, I wouldn't blame her one bit. By the way, my chair is fucking squeaking again. Mother of God, I've got to get some WD-40, man. Anyway, so, you know, I think we definitely put our boundaries up, so to speak. But of course that went all out the window. Out the window. Gone. Good luck. The moment there was a bit of booze included. So I remember I was wanting to, quote, show her something in my bedroom. I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't my private parts, by the way. But it was an excuse to kind of bring her down, you know. So anyway, we end up sitting on my bed, end up kissing. And, I mean, we did have a huge attraction to each other. Jesus Christ, it was huge. And, you know, then we ended up having sex and things just got more heated. And it was funny because the moment it happened, after that, right, the moment we had sex for the first time, it was so intense. It was the reality of, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm stuck. And that's genuinely how I felt, right? Because I was thinking, okay, well, you know, I do fancy her, but now that we've crossed the line here, like, where does this go now? Like, what if I do pull back? is she going to be fucking pissed off and there's going to be holy war in this place? I mean, what if she pulled back, right? Would I have waged war with her? Now, for me, I still was attracted to her. I was interested in her, yes. But there was the pressure. So here's the thing, guys. Even if you do really like the person, the fact that you're living there with them is enough pressure on you to actually make the whole thing fucking spiral out of control. Like, if I was with this girl, let's say, and I wasn't living with her, there could have been a chance, right? Because at least you got your own space and everything. You know, but I'm telling you guys, it doesn't, no matter how much you like the guy or girl, it doesn't matter how much you like them, you'll still feel that fucking pressure. And maybe I can't speak for everybody, but Jesus, did I feel it quick. Very, very quick. And now, for me, I did like her, and we actually ended up being boyfriend-girlfriend, and we went on a holiday together. But like, even after the holiday, I remember coming back from the holiday itself. Like, and again, you know, you're in each other's fucking pockets here, right? And we got to a stage where I was renting out my room, and like, even for me, just having my room was enough. You know, it was like, okay, taking a break. But then I actually started feeling guilty because I was taking my own room. We should be together in the room. So, I mean, it's amazing how it can fuck you in the head. Really, like, I mean, I'm feeling guilty, but going back to my room. What the fuck? What the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Now, when I was with her, it didn't make sense either that I was in my room. It's so bizarre. But again, that's the pressure of living with someone, right, from day one. And, you know, let's see, where else would we go? So we went from there to going on a holiday together. Then I ended up actually getting rid of my room. So I got rid of my room, and that just turned the heat up. I mean, funnily enough, I got rid of one monkey off my back, the guilt monkey off my back, but then I had pressure on my back. I mean, I was going from what do they call it? Going from the oven into the fire pan or something, you know? Like, there was no escaping it. Nothing. It was either one or the other. So that made things way worse. Then all of a sudden, I actually didn't want to be around her. I was like, the moment I came back home, like, I was dreading going into the apartment. Absolutely fucking dreading going into the apartment. And it was no problem about her, you know. She was a lovely girl. Oh, she was honestly one in a million. Beautiful girl, beautiful personality. Everything about her was so good. Of course, that made me feel worse then. I was like, oh my God, Peter, you're such an asshole. What the fuck is wrong with you? She's so lovely. Blah, blah. So, I mean, it was just huge amounts of pressure, intense guilt. And, you know, eventually we ended up breaking up. Like, I broke it up with her. I moved home to Ireland. That was it. Job done. I couldn't handle it. And here's the thing, guys, right? Like, I was in a bit of a dark place at that time. I was in London. I love London, by the way. That wasn't the problem. But my work wasn't good. It wasn't good. I was quite depressed, and I never get depressed, and that was the first time I was depressed in my life. So I had the pressure of not wanting to be in that workplace, plus the pressure of living with this girl, you know? Like, I genuinely think, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is sometimes because we're depressed or we're down and out about something, then we do something stupid, right? Because I think I was holding on to something, and I think I wanted to be with her more because I was in a bit of a shitty place. So I wanted someone like her to make me feel better being in a relationship. There was someone there for me. So it wasn't I wanted the relationship. It was a crutch. You know? Now, definitely liked her. No question. Fancied her. But the relationship was a crutch. You know? And it took me years to figure this out. So the point is, guys, like, you know, desperation can make you do another desperate move. Therefore, it's like quicksand. The more you fight, the more you sink. You know? I would, if it was me, now workplace versus living from home, living with the person, it's completely different, but it's very similar. Now, yes, you can go home at nighttime if you're working with somebody and you fancy them. If you do end up hooking up, yeah, you go home. That's cool. And at least you're away from them. But, guys, what do they say in workplaces? We spend more of our time with strangers in a workplace than our own family and friends. So hooking up with the girl or the guy is not the greatest idea in the world. It's just not. Like, if you're in a different department and you can stay away from the guy or girl, let's say you're in the same building, you got to weigh it up, right? You got to weigh it up. Is it worth the risk if they, let's say, example, they work on the first floor and you're on the second floor? So you actually don't bump into each other, maybe every now and then for a coffee in the cafeteria, or, there's a big board meeting and you're all in there. Is it worth it? Maybe then it could be worth it, because you know what? You could say to yourself, do you know what? I only see her literally, I'd say, 120 seconds in 1 week or 1 day. I can live with that. I can fucking live with that. You gotta weigh it up, guys. You really do. And I honestly, coming from a man who's fucked up in this scenario, guys, right? I made a huge mistake. If you're feeling desperate, I'm always going on about self-awareness. Please try and be as self-aware and learn from on my mistakes. I was not self-aware. I just jumped in, straight in, like an idiot. But if you realize you're in a dark place, or in a bad place, or a lonely place, whatever you call it, remember, say that to yourself. Yes, okay, I'm in a lonely place right now. The last thing I want to do is get a new boyfriend or girlfriend. Seriously, guys, I do believe that now, and I know that from my own mistakes. Because if you've got a clear head on you, fresh head, you don't need something. You're using it as a fucking crutch. Not an actual, I fancy this person. Maybe you only fancy them because you need somebody. That's what I would say, guys. Try and be as self-aware as you can. Hooking up with somebody at work, I would always say your default should be, no, not a hope. Don't do it. Don't even go there. If it ends up happening, literally, like, why not, right? Grab a pen and paper and literally write down the pros and cons. If you really fancy somebody now, fuck it. Do it on your own when you're sitting in bed watching Netflix, right? Just take out the pen and paper, pros and fucking cons. Okay, and here's how I would work through this. Okay, I really want this person, but you know what? What if it doesn't work out? Of course you're going to be thinking that. Right. Where do you work with her or him? How many hours of a day do you work? Let's say 8. Okay. How many hours in that day do I see that person? Okay, let's say it's 1 or 2 hours, right? At least, okay, that's a starting point. Now, am I sitting next to the person? Are they on the first floor and I'm on the second? Or is it vice versa? Blah, 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 right? Now, then put yourself in the situation where, let's say, now imagine the worst situation. Ye break up, there's a huge fight, and then all of a sudden, the person that you liked, she hooks up with someone else in the office place. Right? Now, that would be the worst scenario, but if you can find a scenario where you could actually accept that as like, oh, well, do you know what? That's okay. I won't see her, him, because I only see them for 5 minutes of my day. So 5 minutes out of 8 hours in a day, it's not the worst, right? I mean, can you live with it? You'll get used to it, of course. But is the juice worth the squeeze? That's what you got to figure out, right? How many hours do I see them? Can I avoid them? In fact, if shit does hit the fan, can I actually move my desk away from her or him? Can I get away from them? If that's possible, great. Can I work remotely from home? Like if you can remote work from home, well then maybe that takes more pressure off, because you'll only see that person maybe just the 1 day of the week instead of the 5. Even though it could only be for literally 2 or 3 minutes in a day, well, that's even better, right? You're working remotely. So, guys, honestly, weigh it up. It's very, very dodgy. It's a slippy slope, and I'm not, guys, look here, I'm not saying anything that's fucking genius here. I think everybody knows this, but when you get into this scenario, it's tough. And I hope that if anybody is in this scenario right now, like this guy this morning, you know, hopefully this will help you. Just don't buy into either one, desperation, or number two, lust. Okay? And remember this, maybe you actually like them more because there is danger attached. Okay? As in, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't go there. It's the forbidden fruit. You know? Try and imagine that. Okay, you know what? If I wasn't here now, would I really be into her or him? Maybe you like the risk. Maybe you do. And, hey, if that's the way you are, that's the way you are. But it's a fucking risky fucking game you're playing. And take it from me, who fucked it all up. I mean, guys, let me tell you, honest to God, the pressure that I felt was unfucking believable. Honest to God. It was like, oh, what was it like? Put it this way. It was like going to the dentist. The dread I had before I walked into the door was like the same dread that you have walking into the dentist's office, right? Just that 5 yard before you actually open the door for the dentist, and you're like, oh Jesus, I can't do this, oh my God, and you're getting about 10 fillings in your mouth or something, and you're thinking of the drill in your mouth, right? That was the same type of dread I had every single day coming home. Do you really want that at your workplace? I hope that you can, not do it, right? Now, here's another thing. Here's what you could figure out. Let's say you don't actually want a relationship with the person. You just want to have sex, all right? And maybe that could be it. Be very self-aware about what you want. And you know what? If that's all you want, first of all, things could get really, really awkward still. However, if you're going to play this dangerous game, tell the person beforehand, look, we shouldn't do this. And I would recommend, guys, before you even fucking kiss, tell the person, look, whoa, hang on, look, to be honest with you, I really fancy you. You know what? I'm not looking for any relationship. Nothing. Okay? So maybe we should stop this. Now, if that person agrees, that's fine, no problem. Let's do it. Well then, that's on them. Because you've been upfront, honest, and straight. Okay? It's their fault then if they continue and they're looking for a relationship and you back away. Because you've just told them the truth. You were upfront and responsible. However, there still could be shit at work when you get there. So either way, guys, you're not going to avoid the fire. The only question is, can you put up with the fire? Because there will be a fire either way. I mean, what if you even were with the person, right? And let's say things go really well. And you end up boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, right? And then you move in together. And hey, guess what's going to happen? You're going home together too. And you know what? You might as well just drive in the same fucking car now at this stage. So you are literally in each other's pockets all the fucking time. Is there some people out there that like that? Well, of course there is. But, well, probably not everybody. But, yeah. If you're going to play with fire, guys, bring your fireproof gloves. So, okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. And, look, I hope this does give anybody some form of help. I mean, I did. I went through misery. And... oh, and you know what? I kind of got sidetracked a bit. So, like, when I was going into I'll just leave you on this. When I was going back into the house, it was like going into the dentist with that drill in my fucking head. I could hear it, and unbelievable dread before I got into the house. Then when I got into the house, because I wanted some space, then I felt guilty because I was like, oh God, I don't want her thinking now that I'm looking for my space and, be odd. I want everything to just be okay. Happy, 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 happy. So then I was putting on an act. Then that made me tired. Then because that tired, then I was even fucked more. Okay? So, because then you'll also feel that you don't want to give away what you're feeling. You know, that dread. So you'll actually put on probably an act in front of the person when you're at home. And, well, you can't escape. So, anyway, guys, I hope that helps. And God bless you. I love you all. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.